Yes, we need a new system.
Okay.
I would be happy if that came through a repeal pathway. I'd be happy if it came through a different pathway.
The new system in repeal that Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is referring to is Prop 2.5, the law that protects taxpayers from property tax increases. It sets the levy at 2.5%. But Wu wants to take more money from Boston taxpayers and has been making the media rounds complaining that she doesn't have enough money to spend because of Prop 2.5.
Prop 2.5 is a very significant sort of constraint across every city's planning.
I know it's something that's being discussed at the local level now and at the state level. I'll review anything that comes my way.
And now Governor Maura Healey has signaled a willingness to consider legislation that could make changes or do away with Prop 2.5.
Our primary source of revenues can only go up 2.5% every year.
But this blaming of Prop 2.5 is completely misguided. Even more so following the release of a new report from the Tax Foundation regarding state aid to municipalities. Citing U.S. Census Bureau data and a 2025 study by the Massachusetts Municipal Association, the Tax Foundation notes that cities and towns nationwide receive about 31% of their revenue from state aid, while Massachusetts municipalities receive just 26%. Even more concerning, unrestricted local aid has declined by 25% since 2010, with rural communities hit the hardest, despite the fact that state revenues are setting new records and exceeding benchmarks. For a breakdown on the importance of protecting Massachusetts taxpayers in Prop 2.5, Executive Director Paul Craney spoke with Jared Walzak, Vice President of State Projects at the Tax Foundation.
What do you think about Prop 2.5? We've been trying to defend it for years. It was passed by the great work of Citizens for Limited Taxation, and we're just trying to protect their good work.
I think Prop 2.5 is really good policy, and it is the reason your property taxes aren't dramatically higher than they are. Massachusetts still has high property taxes because it is about limitations of future growth, and you had high property taxes when this was put in place. So they're still higher than average, but they are dramatically lower than they would be otherwise. What I like about this particular policy is not only does it constrain the growth of property taxes, but it does it in a neutral way, where it is rolling back the rate of tax, the mill levy, based on the growth in revenue. So it's a revenue cap, and everyone's rates come down in the jurisdiction to keep those revenues in check. It's not an assessment limit. It's not picking particular parcels. I think it's been really effective. It's good policy. In fact, I point other states to Massachusetts and say, learn from them.
So you're saying that Massachusetts has a taxpayer protection law that is so good that it's worth pointing to other states. Am I hearing that correctly?
You are hearing that right.
That says a lot for Prop 2.5. Hopefully it won't get altered, and it will continue to protect taxpayers for decades to come.